stream. Okay, I believe we're live. Alright. Okay. Okay, boys, we're live. Alright. Welcome, everybody, to the Vucko's Cabin podcast. This is a new podcast we're going to be kicking off this season. It's going to happen every Tuesday after the races and everything. So obviously, this is going to happen every Tuesday at around 8 o'clock, or maybe even earlier because work, but it's going to be like a 40-minute podcast, maybe less. We'll see what happens. But, anyways, so before we do anything else, let's get right into some Daytona Speedway coverage. So first, before we start, I'm here with my guests, Fish and Creasem. Of course, they're the NRS co-owners. They do the shit around here. I just sit around. Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to let you guys one by one discuss your thoughts on the Daytona Speed Weeks. So who wants to go first? Just go unmute your mic, sure. All right.
Hi, I'm Fish. Okay, so I thought the Speed Weeks was all right. Like, it wasn't bad, but the only thing I really didn't like was probably the the clash at the road course. It I mean, I liked it. I liked the race. It was pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but the ending there was pretty wild.
I mean, the ending was
Um,
like really the only good part. It was kind of a boring race all around, to be honest. Like, wasn't anything
yeah, it
special,
was.
honestly. I don't know if it's gonna come
I
back to the Daytona RC, but it did get some good ratings, I guess. So, um,
honestly, yeah, I was honestly surprised with the last lap chicane.
mhm.
Uh, when Chase Elliott Chase Elliott got into Ryan Blaney.
Yeah,
I thought he was just gonna keep going, but apparently he let Kyle Busch just go ahead of him.
yeah, Chase checked up,
Um,
so that's what happened there.
yeah, and the duels I was only able to stay up for just the first duel because of the second duel
Same
being
here.
rained,
Yeah.
and it was a pretty good race all around. So, and then we get to the Xfin or the no, the truck race. That was actually a pretty good race. I actually enjoyed it. I think that was actually the best. Actually, I did not watch the Xfinity race, so in my opinion, the truck race was probably the best one
Yeah.
out of all three of them.
I will agree with
The
that.
Xfinity race, the Xfinity race, I was only able to watch because I was at a party. But yeah, and then the Cup race, I honestly wasn't I honestly was just kind of disappointed with how the racing was at like after the rain delay. I'm pretty sure NASCAR or race control just told him like, hey, just just go in a snake the whole time.
Yeah.
And I
Can't agree
honestly
with
thought
that.
they were gonna they weren't I thought they weren't gonna do anything
Like,
until the last lap.
yeah.
And then the last lap wreck, I was honestly very that was a very scary wreck for me
I'm surprised
because
more people weren't like scared because there was like no, Brad just goes flying and then a huge fire starts. I'm like, oh shit, like holy fuck, that was scary.
yeah, Brad was the one that kind of worried me the most. Not well. I think it was Kyle that were the one that worried the most actually because he slammed you know how Danica, I don't know who it was that
He
hit Eric
seriously just say
Almirola in
Danica.
2017. I think whoever ran into Eric Almirola at 2017 Kansas, that that really reminded me of that
Yeah,
wreck.
it did. Austin Cindric like running directly into Kazanski, it did kind of. But I will agree with you saying that the race was underwhelming, considering like past like Daytona 500 and how good they were. But I feel like it was the first big one that kind of like ruined everything because all the big guys were out and they just snaked the whole race until the end. But honestly, like, oh well. I mean, people were too scared to do shit, I guess.
Yeah, and I was able to watch the start of the race with my family obviously.
Hmm.
On the third lap, obviously I held up number three for Dale Earnhardt, and
And then suddenly Darren
um
Cope just slams the wall.
yeah,
If he
and
didn't
that's
laugh, I'm shocked, like literally, because that was funny.
and I was like, all right, and then the caution came out, and I'm like, okay, what's this for? And I see Derek Cope sliding on the wall,
Boom.
and And then fast forward to lap 15 or 16 or 14, 15, the big one happens and involved Newman got involved in it, which I was very upset about that, and I was actually about to turn off the race because I Newman wasn't racing anymore. And then here comes the rain. I took a nap for like maybe like
Dude,
20
you just
minutes.
took a Newman nap mid-race. Like, that's dedication. Like, holy
Yeah, and
fuck.
then I went back home, and then we obviously watched the rest of the race till about midnight, and then I said, "Oh my God," about 13 times because of that last lap wreck.
Was it
But
really 13? You told me to do a counter,
yeah, it
but I
was.
never did. I want to get the video
Yeah,
out so quickly, I just forgot the counter. But I have to go back on it anyways, because we got a fucking copyright claim, because Fox is like, yeah, no, we're not letting you do this, so... Yeah, fuck you, Fox. If you're watching this,
I
jump off of
mean,
a fucking cliff. Anyways.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go in and hand it off to
Creasing.
Kreesum here and see what he wants to say about
Yeah,
the
go.
the
Go.
week.
Yep. Alright, go for it, Creasing.
Wow. So where do I start off? In my opinion, I feel like the racing during Clash was all right. The locking up the brakes, especially Kurt Busch and somebody else, I forgot who also locked up their brakes, and the dives into turn one was pretty entertaining. I believe there's plenty of lead changes, and surprisingly, I'm surprised that Denny Hamlin didn't run off with the lead when he had it, which kind of gives me hope for the road course race heading into this Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
because this time there's gonna be like far more cars. Like
Yeah, it's gonna
Chase
be much
Briscoe
more.
will have a chance to prove himself.
I hope Briscoe
Um,
wins, not gonna lie.
Daniel Suarez has a chance to prove himself. Many other good road course drivers have a chance to prove themselves this weekend,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
and
the...
we didn't get to see that due to the clash requirements. Now
Yeah,
onto the speed weeks. The dual one was pretty good racing. It does not top a dual two though,
it was
but
my
dual one
snake.
has to be like
They were
dual
snaking
one
for
has
a
to
while,
be
I will put it that way. But it
yeah.
wasn't a bad race.
I mean, in dual one they didn't have to wreck a lot to give the entertainment factor, because the passing, the aggressive driving was just giving it. It was just a wet dream, I would
Yeah,
say.
pretty much.
Duel 2, I would say the same exact thing, but not in reality. I just got to take the wrecking part because they wrecked a shit ton.
Yeah, I was really sad about Garrett Smithley. He was expected to, yeah, but yeah,
I
I was
mean,
expecting, I honestly felt Smithy was gonna probably make it in those last couple corners, but he just, Brad just had to cut down on him. But duels weren't too bad. Go on, Creasum.
so the duels weren't too bad, but I'd say they were like one of my favorite races so far in the season. Here we go into the trucks. Um, how do I get into this? So the trucks are fairly all right. Our predictions, which you saw the reaction video, were top notch. We couldn't we couldn't stop predicting like Chandler Smith is not
Yeah,
real and that
Chandler
happening.
Smith is not real, and then Haley Deegan just goes bye bye. Like that was absolutely perfect. Anyways, yeah,
But
back to you.
the truck racing, I believe it was really decent. It could have been better, but it was still entertaining overall. The Xfinity race, it was such a good race for an underwhelming finish. I mean, come on, man. You just can't finish with air bubbles spreading the Xfinity field around. Could have been much more better if the air bubbles were non-existent. They actually had two bad racing towards the line
Hmm.
instead of who won the Xfinity race again? I kind of forgot. It was
It was
Drake.
Cindric.
Cindric.
I will say
Oh
the
yeah.
finish did definitely let me down, but yeah. Anyways, going back on.
So the Xfinity race was pretty all right at least. It was fairly fairly good racing. And now to Cup, right off the bat, yes, I did held three for Dale during the
Yeah, didn't we all?
lap three. I'm
I
sure
also
we all
forgot.
did, to be honest.
Sorry to cut you off. I also forgot to mention that I yelled boogity 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 so dang loud that I freaking tore my vocal cords.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't tear my vocal cords, but it was like it hurt kind of for like a couple minutes after I said it.
Oof.
I don't know why there was
And
an earthquake.
Oh my god, California reference.
with the California jokes. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let it go back to.
Alright.
Good with
Anyways,
California.
Kreisem, 500? What do you think of the 500? It was shit. Anyways, we're gonna move on.
Hey,
I'm
Vucko.
kidding!
Hold on.
I'm just saying.
Let's speak my thoughts first. So, first 15 laps were pretty good,
Yeah, I agree.
especially their copes slamming the wall. The lap, I think it was lap 14 wreck. It pretty much killed the vibe. The excitement that and the hype Fox was building up, just fell down at an instant. Seeing good super speeder racers and racers, to be exact, that actually had balls to go to the inside lane
Yeah.
during the late of the race, which we only got during the last lap. But second stage, train, it just went choo choo. Same thing goes for the third stage, but the final wreck, oh man, Vucko. If you saw the Daytona 500 reactions, Vucko muted me because
Yeah, because I thought you
I
said
said
like
I was not gonna spoil it because
yeah. Just
I'm not
for safe
spoil it. I'm like,
measures.
the
I didn't want to
specific
hear you
fan.
say no. I mean, hey, but I will say the bods they got their finish reaction spoiled because right when the wreck started, Jordan says, "No way that Michael McDowell just won this race." Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
Whoops. Anyways, yeah, time for my opinion if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay, so Clash, as I said, boring, good finish. Duels, not too bad. I stayed up for the first one, went to sleep second one like everybody else did because, well, I had school the next day. Truck race was actually pretty good in my opinion. I think it was a great race. Xfinity, okay race, let me down at the end though. And Cup, Snake with a great finish. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for how we're talking about the speed weeks. But I think we're going to go ahead and get into the future for the season. So, pretty much, I'm just going to name every single driver off that's competing this season. Not going to be in any random order. And we're going to give our expectations for that driver. We'll come back to it once the season is over at the end of the season when we do our last podcast. So, I'm going to start with Kurt Busch. What do y'all have to say for Kurt? One of you want to start?
I think he's a very good driver. I mean,
I do.
he's actually I didn't watch him a whole lot this past season, so I really can't give an opinion on him. But I really like the guy. I think he's a pretty good driver.
I'm really
you know.
hoping that this is not the year he falls down to earth and Chip Ganassi equipment.
Also,
but
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I was kind of surprised last year at Talladega when he kind of went in the air, and
Yeah.
that was pretty wild. And yeah.
But like, I feel that if he keeps like running how he has been the last 2 seasons, I think he'll have a pretty good year. Kreisem, how about you? What do you think for Kurt Busch?
So, other than the Talladega girl screaming that Vucko said that wasn't uploaded, Kurt Busch, he had a pretty good season.
What do you think about this season? How do you think he'll do this year?
I believe he's gonna transfer the momentum he's had thanks to the Las Vegas win and the good playoff run he's had.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's probably gonna get to the round of 8 this season.
I think so too, but then he's gonna crash out because of some stuff he
Yeah.
can't control. Yeah, that's pretty fair. How about Ross Chastain? How do y'all think Chastain's gonna do this season? Personally, I think it's just gonna be a few rookie woes, but it won't be too bad of a season, in my opinion.
I'm not gonna say he's gonna win a race, but I'm also not gonna say that he's gonna be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did good. I think he did good in the Daytona 500. Yeah, he had a good season. Here Matt Kenseth retiring last season, they were like, all right, we got to get here, and my mic just cut out. And I think he's gonna do really good this year. I think he's gonna. My hopes aren't too high for him. I think he'll get I don't. I think he won't get in. I believe that he might get in the playoffs, but he'll be eliminated in the round of 12, and that's. I think he'll do pretty good this season. I don't believe he's gonna get any wins. I hope he gets a top five. I hope he proves me wrong there.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
but
but honestly, I see him being either an early playoff exit or just missing out because like I feel like he's definitely gonna get upended by Kurt, but it's I think he'll just be a rookie woe type season. Actually, he's not really a rookie, but like he ran with Premium Motorsports in the past, so maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I don't see much coming out of it. Kreesum, you wanna just say something quickly?
So Ross Chastain, um,
Hmm.
I'd really say he kept the car clean during the 500, which is automatically good.
Yeah, for the most
And
part until the end, but yeah.
I've barely seen anything of Ross Chastain during the Xfinity Series because most likely I wasn't even attending the Xfinity Series most of the time.
That's
But
fair.
I feel like he's definitely gonna get into the playoffs, but I believe he's gonna get eliminated in round 16.
Oh,
He's gonna
really?
get in on, yeah, I believe so.
Mhm.
I, bel
Yeah.
I believe so. He's gonna get in on points, but competing with Chase Briscoe for Rookie of the Year,
He's not actually competing for Rookie of
um,
the Year. The two
huh?
rookie.
Oh,
He's not actually. He's competing. The only two Rookie of the Years are Chase Briscoe and Anthony Alfredo because they've never ran the series before. Chastain ran
yeah.
about 32 races with Premium a few years ago. That's pretty much it for Chastain. Now we get to the. Actually, let's skip Hendrick for now. Let's go to Ricky Stenhouse.
super speedway wrecks. That's all I'm gonna say.
Fuck. Yeah, honestly, I feel like he'll just be more of the same as last season.
Right.
How
Okay.
about
Well, okay. All jokes aside, I think he's gonna do pretty well this season.
I think he'll be like
Um,
top 20 for a bit, and then he's just kind of gonna have a
yeah.
late season collapse. I'm just gonna say that. And yeah, Creasy, you agree with that?
Other than you saying that that Stenhouse wasn't Team Hendrick, yeah.
No, he's with JTG. I said we were skipping Hendrick for now.
Oh,
For
okay,
now,
okay.
we'll get back to him later because there are a huge puzzle to unravel. Let's go into Richard Childress Racing now. Austin Dillon. I feel like he's gonna have a season more of the same as last season. Maybe there will be improvement because last year he definitely proved me and everybody wrong with that when at Texas and actually doing really well in the first round of the playoffs. I feel like if he can replicate that, I think he could be heading for a pretty good year. You guys think of that?
Yeah, I think last season he really outdid his equipment because
I agree.
I really um even though a lot of people don't like him because he was basically rushed to the Cup Series. I think he's a very good driver,
I agree. Yeah, he's
and
pretty good.
it takes a lot of time to build your skills in the car. And I've been telling myself like because I play a lot of NR 2003 and I'm like I don't know how these guys can hold their lines with people three cars around them at once. And I get in the back of a car and I just wreck the entire field.
Oh
Like
my god.
I don't know how they
Okay.
do that,
All
but
right, that's we're gonna stop it with that tangent and move on to Creasum. What do you think Austin Dillon's gonna do this season? Do you think it's gonna be more the same, or do you expect more out of him?
Well, Austin Dillon definitely has momentum coming to this season. I mean, the Texas win probably gave him like more, got him more brave,
Yeah.
and I believe he's probably gonna have like the same season, but with better results. Because now he's feeling more confident in the equipment he's in, and of course, the this this current gen is being stretched to this year, so he has one more year to better himself before Gen 7 comes. But
Yeah.
not yeah, he's definitely gonna
Gen
have.
7's definitely gonna be a mixed bag, but I'm looking forward to that. Tyler Reddick, do you think he's gonna? I think he's definitely gonna do as good as Dylan did last season because he's no longer really a rookie. There's
yeah.
nothing he can really blame his season other than shit equipment, somewhat. But I think he has definitely he's gonna have a good year, and I think he may even be a chase contender. What do you guys think of that?
I think he'll be in the playoffs for like one
I think
round,
he'll
and
get in the
then
playoffs, and then maybe we'll see what happens with the Gen 7. Maybe he'll have his breakout, but we'll see what
this
happens
is
with that.
this is I don't know if I'm going to word this correctly, but here's the problem I have with most rookies coming into their second season.
Yeah.
A lot of rookies tend to think that, oh, it's my second season, I'm all of a sudden pretty good now. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're pretty good drivers if they make it to the cup level, but it's not like, hey, I'm like very good.
Yeah, I'm hoping that
Because
Tyler doesn't
a
do
lot of people
that.
think because a lot of people think, oh, hey, it's my second year in the game now, or second year in the sport now. Let me just boss everyone around because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
You have to listen to your like seniors, like whoever um whoever runs everything. And I learned that I'm gonna go off a mini tangent here. I learned that in marching, man, because this is my second. It was my second season as a marcher, and I wasn't really like you know saying how like rookies will be, but it's I've noticed some people do that in real life and in NASCAR, but it's hopefully that doesn't become a problem for Tyler Reddick where he doesn't become arrogant all of a sudden
Mhm.
because that's going to be a problem.
Mhm. Yeah, I
But
agree with that.
other than that, I think he's going to be a very good driver for
Opinions
this
on
next
Tyler
coming
Reddick
season.
reason? Or is it much the same? Okay, he's not actually.
Well, sorry, I just saw that my phone turned off. Tyler Reddick. To be fair, coming to the second season, I believe he's gonna mature a bit more as time goes on. Because obviously, rookies are gonna become more mature over the years. I kind of expect the same season Tyler Reddick had last year,
Hmm.
but with little to no improvement. But I like to see him like start becoming more consistent on tracks. But Homestead, Tyler Reddick on Homestead, I just can't wait to see what he does during that race,
Yeah,
especially with Chase
Homestead is
Briscoe.
definitely going to be a good one as long as he stays out of trouble. But I do agree with you, Kuzu. Anyways, before we get on, let's quickly talk about why not talk about Rick Racing?
So long, Bowser.
Me behind, like I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah. And you know what? Let's add Quinn Half to the equation too.
So long, Bowser.
I think
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know.
just gonna bowling pins. Yeah, that's accurate. Anyways, let's forget him. Richard
Yeah,
Petty Motorsports. I. This one's a very tricky bag to unravel, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be like maybe a bunch of top 20 finishes, but I don't see them doing anything spectacular. I think they're probably gonna be shifting their focus toward the Gen 7 car or something, but we'll see what happens. Honestly, how about your guys' opinion?
I think RPM with Eric Jones and their Chevy now. I think coming from a Toyota team
Mm-hmm.
that has very good equipment. I think Eric Jones is because I don't think RPM has the as good as equipment as Joe Gibbs Racing does, and that's probably gonna push Eric Jones to a limit. So like, because he's gonna be expecting his car to hopefully run at RP or JGR levels when it probably be mid pack the whole time. Which I don't see anything problem with a mid pack. It's just being able to stay in mid pack. That's the thing. And I think Eric Jones is gonna have a good year this year or this season. And yeah,
Yeah. Corey, some of your thoughts?
So here's right off the bat, I wouldn't say that. I mean, obviously, going to Richard Petty straight from Joe Gibbs is obviously an equipment downgrade, but
Oh
sort
yeah,
of an
definitely.
upgrade at the same time because now he has a team's focus instead of Joe Gibbs focusing on MTJ and Denny Hamlin. He Richard Petty Motorsports. He's Richard Petty's gonna have all his attention on him, nobody else. He's gonna get the best car he can. I believe he's gonna outrun his equipment, which is obviously good to see his like true talent with a midfield car. I believe he's going to get like a few top 10s here and there, probably a few top 15s, possibly a top 5 in some tracks. But other than that, I expect good things from Eric Jones in the 43 car.
Yeah, I definitely see that. Next up on the board, Spire Motorsports. I think we're just gonna talk about LaJoy because the 77 is gonna have multiple drivers. Corey LaJoy, I feel like, I don't know, maybe a couple top 20s down the road, but I don't expect much out of that Spire team. But I'm definitely looking forward to see what they're gonna do with the Gen 7 car, especially with it becoming a cheaper car, and seeing how they can develop it further. What do you guys think of that?
Honestly, with Corey LaJoy coming from Go Fast Racing, I think his equipment's gonna be a slight downgrade, and obviously Corey LaJoy had a pretty decent season last year. Actually, he had a pretty alright season last year with Go Fast, and with Go Fast, I think did Go Fast shut down? I'm not sure. Actually, they didn't.
They didn't.
Or
They're
did they?
running part-time with Ryan Eatlis, but I don't
Okay.
expect anything there.
So yeah, they shut down for part-time use, and I think Corey LaJoy is going to have a good season in the number 7 car, like for his equipment, because that's all I'm going to say for their equipment, because that's the big disclaimer for. And I'd like to see Corey LaJoy win a couple of races in his career.
Yeah, maybe he'll win I'm looking at
Yeah.
maybe a super speedway win if anything. Creasum, your thoughts? Or do you just agree with this? Like,
Corey LaJoy.
takes 5
So-
seconds to think about it.
I agree with the slight downgrade. Like, I feel like Spire's gonna pay more attention to the 7 than the 77 because, of course, the 77 is just a rotating door for drivers. But with Corey LaJoy being full time, I believe Spire's gonna give Corey LaJoy slightly better equipment compared to the 77 team. But other than that, yeah, I kind of agree with the super speedway. He's probably gonna get like a few a top 5 or a top 10, probably 2, because he's probably one of the most competitive super speedway drivers, I believe. But,
Yeah, I think he definitely finished like top 10 at Daytona or somewhere around that, so I definitely see him doing well at the super speedways, but I don't know, maybe like a top 10 or couple top 20s down the road, but I don't expect anything much. Now I gotta go to the bathroom, but the next team is Trackhouse, so I'm gonna let you two go at it with your opinions because this one's a tough one to predict. So yeah, go ahead, guys.
So yeah, so Trackhouse, I think they're going to have a good season. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to see what they were capable of because of the early Daytona 500 big one. But I was hoping they would at least get a top 10. But with of course it's a super speedway. It's gonna be pretty packed all around. And like I said, with Pitbull running a NASCAR team, I think he's gonna make like more decisions for what Daniel Suarez can do. And I'm glad that NASCAR brought back the 99 car for that team because I like Carl Edwards being in the 99. I'm going off topic there, but I really like Daniel Suarez. I think that he's a pretty good driver. He was a good driver for Gaunt Brothers for them, and yeah. So I'll let you say something about that, Cruising.
right off the bat, with Pitbull being involved in the sport, I believe he's gonna, with the amount of new fans that are just getting to NASCAR because of Pitbull, that's obviously gonna give Trackhouse Racing more revenue, which means better equipment for Daniel Suarez. I believe, if Daniel Suarez impresses Pitbull and Justin Marks, I believe he's gonna stay with the 99 team. Honestly, I'm excited for the throwback races, which is Darlington, because they could probably throw back to Carl Edwards.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Okay, now let's talk about Front Row Motorsports. Before we get to, I think the name heard around the world right now, let's talk about Anthony Alfredo. I'm probably just going to sum it up quickly. He's not going to have a good season, in my opinion. He's a rookie. He's jumping in from Xfinity Chevrolet equipment. He's probably going to have, like, maybe a few top 20s. But this move is a major risk, and I don't think it's going to pay off. It's not that I'm saying it's a bad car, but it was such a sudden move. I don't think Alfredo's going to have a good year. And I think a lot of people can agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that too, and I think Anthony Alfredo should have had a couple more years in Xfinity before he
Yeah,
got
he
out to a
honestly, I feel like he's gonna
well,
pull John Hunter Nemechek and head back down after the season, but we'll see. We'll see. It's definitely a we'll see. And I think Reason agrees with us. Michael McDowell. Oh God, how do we put this together? He somehow wins the Daytona 500. Upset, no one expected. He's already in the chase. I mean, he doesn't really have to do much for the rest of the season, but he should. I think he'll probably be an early playoff exit, if anything, but it's definitely going to make it tough for all those teams that were, like, barely scratching into the playoffs last season or on the cusp of the playoffs. That's going to be interesting, because there's just going to be a front row card just there. But I'm happy for McDowell and how his season's gone. I think you guys can agree with that.
I was really happy that he won the Daytona 500.
I was too.
I was kind of surprised that obviously that caution played an effect on the finish, but I'm glad everyone got out of that okay. And also Michael McDowell, since he won the Daytona 500, I was not expecting that at all. Like none of us was. And I'm gonna quote Denny Hamlin when I say this. He was up front like most of the time for every super speedway race. So I think in 2019, I think he finished fourth or third or fourth. I'm not sure. Um, and he's been pretty good with his equipment. I was waiting for him to win one of these super speedway races because I noticed he was up there in the front,
I do agree with that.
and I'm
And
glad he got. I'm glad he got the. I'm glad he finally got to win one, but I'm also sad that he won one because it's based off of cautions. But that I'm glad. But I'm glad the caution was thrown when it did because we all thought Kyle Busch was very hurt
yeah,
because
but he's
of him running
okay.
into Brad Keselowski.
But thank God
So
for all the safety improvements. And Creason, you want to chime in quickly and say something about McDowell?
Yeah, sure. So McDowell, how can I say this? He's a person to watch in the future because the 34 team is honestly competitive in the road course races, super speeder races, probably the short track races too. I mean,
Yeah, and even the road courses. Like he before the August Daytona race, I had McDowell in my fantasy lineup because he ran test sessions at the Daytona road course years ago. But honestly, I feel like he's a threat to watch out at the Daytona RC as well. But I'll definitely put it that way. All right,
so
you want to say something else?
yeah,
Go for it.
McDowell. To be honest, I expect good things of him. Front Row Motorsports is honestly getting better and better as McDowell spends more years with them because McDowell's definitely a good racer.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see Front Row like starting to move out of the rear midfield. He's starting to move to the front of the midfield, to be honest. But I expect good things of McDowell. Good season
I
for
definitely
him.
see that. Live Fast Motorsports. How do I sum this up?
So long, Bowser.
Like that. I think there's nothing really to say. It's gonna be a rough season. Roush Fenway Racing. Can they make a comeback, or are they fucked as usual?
I really think Chris Buescher is had. I can't speak right now. I apologize. Okay, so I really think Chris Buescher. I'm kind of biased towards Chris Buescher, obviously, because I have an evil Chris Buescher account and on Twitter, but that's a conversation for a different day. So,
Nice plug.
like I was saying, Chris Buescher, I think he's gonna have a really good season. On the other hand, Ryan Newman, he's my favorite driver, obviously. Yeah, my mic just decided to cut out again. And Ryan Newman's one of my favorite drivers, and I was very disappointed to see him wrecked out during the Daytona 500 because I was waiting the whole off season just for him to at least race in the Daytona 500, and I was very disappointed when I saw him in that wreck. And understandably, Creason probably was too because we were talking to each other in Discord, or we were actually talking to each other in the text in the BOD series. But it was that was very. That was very scary, not very scary. It was like a very big wreck, 16 cars involved. But back to Roush Fenway. Roush Fenway has, because Ryan Newman has, I'm going to say this, Ryan Newman has kind of fallen off.
I agree.
As
He hasn't been the same after his wreck, and I don't know if he's gonna bounce back. It'd be a good story if he did. I think this might be his last season in the Cup Series, or at least his last season with Roush. I think they're going to try to get someone else in there because Newman just isn't the same as he was in 2019 and after his wreck. And it sucks to say that, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Grayson, you want to counter my opinion?
I also think he started falling off after the 2014 playoffs because he got second
he
in the
had
chase.
an insane bounce back with Roush, like in 2019.
Yeah,
he just fell off. But yeah, I
so
definitely.
I think if Ron Newman was in better equipment, because he's always up front during the super speedway races.
He's not in horrible equipment. Like he was in shit equipment in 2019. Like Roush was in their lowest point in years, and they pulled it off. But they definitely have a lot more sponsorships, so that's definitely something to keep an eye out for. Like they got Guaranteed Rate, Hy-Vee, Kohler generators on the team. Like they could definitely use that sponsor money towards like equipment upgrades and that stuff. So I definitely watch out for them in the 2022 when the Gen 7 cars come out. Grayson, you want to counter our argument?
All right. Firstly, regarding his retirement, I believe he's going to retire in 2023. I mean, I believe he's going to try to get a feel of the Gen 7 car, and right after that, he's going to probably join one of NASCAR's safety engineers, I believe, because he has an engineering degree, and he invented the Newman bar, which probably saved back Keselowski during that humongous wreck, and along with Kyle Busch and himself last year. But to be honest, I don't really expect much of Roush this season. I mean, yeah, of course he got sponsor money, but Jack Roush has been pretty much slacking.
Completely agree. Like when your team gets a video from Black Flags Matter saying like your team has fallen off, that's not good, and I think they're fucked.
Rick only works at Gen 7.
We should probably.
Chris Buescher.
Yeah, but honestly, I'd wait for 2022 until we can really say enough about Roush. I think now is a good time to talk about Hendrick Motorsports. So, Kyle Larson. Oh, this is a mixed bag. We don't know anything if he's going to be good in Hendrick equipment because he's only ever ran Chevys in the Cup, but I think he'll have a bounce back, but this is definitely like I don't want to really discuss like all the stuff that's happened in the last year. I really want to just discuss his performance. I don't think he'll do too bad. I think he'll definitely make it to the playoffs. Round of 12, round of 8 maybe. Because it is pretty much like the same car that the 88 pretty much had. Like, not the exact same, but like, it pretty much switched from the 88. Actually, no, the 88 probably went with Bowman to the 40. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. But yeah, you guys want to voice your opinions?
Yeah, I really don't have much to say about Kyle Larson because I didn't really get to watch him a lot last season because, yeah, we know what happened. But, and also, I think the 5-car because I think the 5-car ended with Casey Kane back in like 2018, I think. And then I think Kyle Larson's going to do pretty good in his equipment. Obviously, he got involved in that last lap wreck because he slammed the wall. I think if he because he was up front there for like most of the race, and obviously he got involved in that wreck. And I think I'm sounding like a broken record, but I think he's going to do very good in his equipment this year.
I agree. And that goes with all the Stewart-Haas drivers. I think Chase Elliott's definitely gonna have a lot of prove. He was the champion last year. I don't think shit changes with Elliott. Bowman. I think it's gonna be like definitely a breakout season for Bowman. I think he's finally gonna get more wins than last season. He's gonna pull up a lot of good performances, top 5s, top 10s. I think Bowman's set up for a good year. And I can't really say much about Byron. I'm hoping he improves this season. If not, it might be a rough patch for Byron if he can't get his shit together this season. But we'll see what happens. Byron is a really tough one to predict, but I think he definitely gets another win. But I'm hoping he can do more than that. And yeah. Y'all's opinion?
Yeah. So I agree with you. The only thing I really disagree with is Bowman having a breakout season because because Bowman he's in a new car. I think he's in the same equipment as he was. Because the thing with a 4-car team is that 4 cars have to get paid attention to, and the cars are because obviously we saw with Chase Elliott him winning the championship. He probably got more attention on his equipment than let's say Jimmy Johnson or Alex Bowman did or William Byron. Obviously, William Byron won in Daytona in August, which I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, it wasn't I think Hendrick's going to have a decent season. I don't think it's going to be like any better or any worse at the same time. I think it's just going to be
Yeah, I agree
how they
with
did
that.
last season.
Creason, you want to say something about that? Or...
Alright,
Oh boy, this is
right
gonna be
right off
long.
the bat, Kyle Larson. I just want to say 2 wins. Kyle Larson will not be like as well. He will obviously be competitive, but not as competitive as Chase Elliott will be. Chase Elliott, the this is a tough pickle. Um, I'm not sure if he's probably gonna make it 2 championships. He's obviously gonna win the most popular driver award. There's, it's obvious at this point. Um, he's probably gonna get like a few wins here and there, but it's probably gonna have the same season. Chase Elliott, William Byron. Now let me try to be as realistic as possible with this man. Um, he's probably gonna need sponsorship because Hertz dropped out mid-season. I kind of forgot why. He only has
He has Axolotl at this point. What else?
Exalta.
Axolotl, but
Yes.
like I think they could definitely sponsor the whole season. They could definitely get Hendrick Cars to sponsor if they need them to. But hey, who joined? Get the fuck out. We're doing a podcast. You fuck.
Nightblade.
Who? Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, I do agree with Kreese. Go on.
So if Byron doesn't get much more sponsorship, I think it's gonna be out by 2023.
That
2022, I
is
believe.
a very good prediction. I agree.
Because he only has Exalta Liberty University, and I can't see Hendrick Cars because that's, of course, Rick Hendrick's own company. So he needs to perform this season. He needs to get sponsors because it's 24. He had to put up good results. Jeff Gordon drove that car.
I have a feeling that after the 2023 season, if Byron is to get fired, they're going to retire the 24. I think they're going to bring back the 88 for someone else, but we'll see what happens. So I definitely agree with your opinion there.
So on Bowman, I think he's going to do better than last season. I mean, he has going off based on the raw speed on the Daytona 500 qualifying, he's going to be a monster during the super speedways. There's no doubting about that. Short tracks, I think Bowman is sort of good at short tracks. I kind of forget. But other than that, Bowman is definitely going to be competitive in that 48. Like, he has to impress Ally this season because he only has the 48 for this season. So he really needs to impress Ally. If he impresses Ally, he's probably going to get like a 2-3 year contract extension. But
yeah, I feel like this is the year that he has his breakout. Yeah, so Hendrick was a very mixed bag, and we do have another big team we're going to get to, but Team Penske, more the same as last season, but I don't really see any of their drivers being at risk, other than Brad. I have a feeling, that tiny feeling he might retire after the season, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I don't know. I really don't. But we'll see what happens, like, with Penske. I can't really give a full-on. I think it's just going to be more the same as last year with maybe, I don't know, Ryan Blaney. I really hope Blaney has another good season, or else I think that's not going to be good for Blaney if he can't get more wins than he did last season. Last year was a letdown. I feel like he might be heading for the same, but what do you guys think?
I think Penske is going to do good this season. Obviously, they could have gotten a 1-2 finish in the Daytona 500 if Joey didn't throw that block. But they would have started off the season a lot better than what they did if Joey didn't decide to do that. But that's what he does. But going back on last season, I think Penske did pretty well with obviously they got second. They came second in the Daytona 500, and then Ryan Blaney won Talladega in the spring. Actually, Ryan Blaney won Talladega twice in a row. Once over Ryan Newman and once over I think it was Ricky Stenhouse. And then Joey Logano, he had a pretty good season. He was in the Final Four last season, if I remember correctly. Or no, that was Brad Keselowski. Actually, Chase Elliott. It was Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Keselowski, and yeah, I was right. Okay. So we got 2 Penske cars in the Final Four last season. I thought that was very good. And obviously we had Chase Elliott winning the championship. But I think if Penske keeps on going down the road they're going, I think they're going to have a championship in their hands. Not so long. Like I think they'll have a championship in about a year or two if they keep going down what they're doing.
Yeah, that's very fair. Creason, you want to put in something before we move on to Stuart Haas? Or...
Yes. Brett
Oh, God.
Keselowski. To be honest, he did fine last season.
He did pretty good
I'd
last
say it was
season,
a
to be honest. He was part of that. I think he could definitely be considered a big three member alongside Hamlin and Harvick, because he did get a bunch of wins with that new crew chief, and I feel like it might be more the same for him. If something falls off, I don't know if he's going to be staying with the team, but yeah, your opinion. Sorry for interrupting.
It's alright. Blaney, he really, really needs to get more wins. Because I just don't want them seeing win on the super speedways. Because people in the future, they're going to say, Ryan Blaney was just only good on the super speedways. I just don't want that to happen. Brian Blaney definitely has talent. He has good personality. I don't know what's going on behind Team Penske, but I feel like Ryan Blaney's getting like the least amount of attention on his car based off last season. Joey Logano. I believe he's gonna have the same season this year because I'd say he did fairly well. Penske, um, Pen, yeah, Penske. If they keep on going on this route, they're definitely gonna get a championship.
I do
sooner
agree,
or later.
and I really hope they can get it this season because the Gen 7 car is a mixed bag. We don't know how Penske's gonna do with that. Yeah, so I do agree with your points there, Kreisman. I think.
But
Oh yeah. Go on.
let me continue.
Sorry.
I keep on forgetting to say this, but on the Forge, it really relies on Roush Yates. Because Roush Yates really needs to get that engine right in order to make the Forge be as competitive as they are right now. So the performances on the Forge side, on the Ford teams, it really relies on Roush Yates. Roush Yates, yeah. Roush Yates. But yeah, you could go on now.
You have an absolute insane IQ when it comes to NASCAR. Anyways, I got about 10 minutes before I have to get ready for work. We can get this done quickly. All right, Stuart Haas Racing. Kevin Harvick, I'm still waiting to see when his age woes are going to catch up with him. We'll see if it happens this season, but if not, more of the same. He's going to dominate. Eric Almirola, probably more top 10s around the board. Maybe another streak like he did in the summer last year. I think he'll have a pretty good season. Chase Briscoe, rookie woes. I really hope he can get a win, but we'll see about Briscoe. I can't really predict him. And Cole Custer, I'm gonna go pretty insane here. He's gonna have a breakout this year. I just have that feeling he will. He's in top class equipment, and I honestly think that he's gonna. I think he's gonna have maybe a couple wins, bunch of top fives or top 10. Sorry. I think he has a breakout this year. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think Stuart Haas is going to have a pretty good season because, for one, Kevin Harvick and Chase Briscoe were the dominators of the Xfinity and Cup Series last season, and with Cole Custer getting his first win last season, I think that's going to be a pretty good step forward for him. I hope it doesn't stick in his head because it's a new season, a lot of things are going to change, but I agree with Kevin Harvick. I think he's a very good driver. He's very talented in what he does. As for Chase Briscoe, I'm not going to say a replacement for Clint Boyer, but he definitely deserves a Cup ride. He had this coming for a long time because he won the ARCA championship in 2016, and then he went to Xfinity. I'm surprised he didn't win the championship there, but it is what it is with the playoffs. And I just hope that he has a very good season, or actually all four of those drivers. As for Eric Almirola, I hope he can take a push during the super speedway races because last I've seen he can't push or he can't take pushes from probably anyone because 2018 Daytona 500 is still questionable for me though. But back to Stuart Haas. Like I said, I think Cole Custer is going to have a good season. Obviously, he didn't have a good race at the Clash because he kind of blew up his engine. But I just hope that Stewart Haas has a great season. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and send it off to Kreisem here.
Get ready for a long opinion. He's gonna just. Oh boy. Alright, Kreisem.
Okay, right off the bat, Kevin Harvick. He has momentum right off the bat. He has 9 wins. He's probably gonna get more wins this season. Probably gonna perform well. And obviously, with the hot bush schemes, I expect good things of Harvick. With the Smithfield Baconator of Eric Almirola, Eric Almirola is gonna get more top tens. He needs to start being competitive in other racetracks that isn't super speedways. But as soon as he starts doing that, I think
he is. Did you see how many top tens and shit that he had in the summer? If he can just close it
No.
out and get more wins, I think he's gonna be in here for the long run. That's what I'm gonna say.
yeah. Sorry for going a bit numbering on there. So, Almirola, I expect good things of him. He should start getting the finishing in there, like wins, top fives, and all that. Chase Briscoe, he will be up there during the dirt race, no doubt about that. Of course, with the road courses, because he's a pretty good road course racer. He could compete against Chase Elliott along with Cindric when Cindric decides to run. Cole Custer, I'd say thanks to the win he got at Kentucky. Was it Kentucky? I think so.
Yeah, it was Kentucky.
Yeah, thanks to the win at Kentucky, Cole Custer should be able to gain momentum much faster, encouraging his car to start performing more. But I expect good things of Stewart Haas. Like, they're probably gonna get a car in the playoffs again. But nah. They didn't even get a car in the playoffs.
I think they're gonna have 3 or 4 in the playoffs. I know Custer, Harvick, and Almirola are probably definitely locked in. Briscoe, I hope he gets in. But yeah. That was pretty much the last real 4 team. Oh wait, we forgot about Matt DiBenedetto. He needs to win. That's all I'm gonna say. He needs to win. Bubba Wallace, unpredictable. Well, I'm just gonna have to sit along and see how it goes. But
I believe Bubba Wallace is gonna outperform. He's gonna have.
He's definitely gonna outperform his equipment, and I hope he has.
He's got very great equipment. Because he's got Michael Jordan, who is a very he's very rich. He has a lot of money.
He makes like a couple million every I don't know, every few days or something. Of course they're gonna have the fastest equipment. But I really hope they're getting ready for Gen 7. And Denny Hamlin's probably going to lead that operation for the Gen 7. I think that Bubba's going to have a good season. And maybe even a win. If he wins, imagine the stories. But, Kreisem, your say.
Alright. I'm probably going to take a few more time getting in depth here to finalize it.
Oh, shit.
So,
we got to get to Joe Gibbs.
Joe Gibbs, I'm going to try to rush this down. 2011 racing, Bubba Wallace is going to have a breakout season, no doubt. He has a pretty good car based off the Daytona 500 raw speed qualifying. And with Matt Benedetto, I completely agree with you. He needs to perform. He needs to get that win he's been revoked for like 2 years in a row now, or more. But I'm saying 2 years because of the Newman block and the questionable decisions NASCAR made during the Talladega race. But other than that, Matt DiBenedetto, he needs to win. Bubba Wallace, breakout season.
I'm hoping that too. Joe Gibbs Racing. Let's start easy with Christopher Bell. He's, that first week was not the way I was thinking he wanted to start a season. I think he can get that car in the playoffs, but...
Okay, I think Vucko just got interrupted. But
sorry.
Christopher
Guys, we gotta get this done quick. I gotta go to work soon. Christopher Bell, probably the playoffs, but nothing more. I'll put it that way. Martin Truex. I don't know if Truex is gonna have a good year. He had only 1 win last year, made the playoffs, but I don't know how far did he get? Round of 8.
Yeah. But I'm going to start off Christopher Bell. Obviously, he's coming out of Levine Family Racing, which is closed down last season.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a decent season with JGR. And that's all I have to say about JGR right now. Oh wait, Denny Hamlin. I think he's going to be pretty good. Last season, I don't think he'll have a season like last season, but he's gonna be pretty good. I expect a couple wins, but not too many, like he got last season. And Martin Truex Jr. Um, I honestly don't expect too much from him. I think he's gonna have like a season like he did last season. But yeah, I'm gonna just leave it off with there.
All right. Let's just finalize this podcast. Let's start with Christopher Bell. He's a rookie. He needs to get into his equipment. He just came off the Levine Family Racing shutdown. He's definitely got to feel more the significant change in equipment, which will probably get to him mid-season, I believe. But I think Christopher Bell will be in the round of 16 and then will be eliminated. That's probably a hot take. Let's get on with Martin Truex Jr. He's obviously going to be competitive in certain road course races. He needs to perform this season to probably keep Joe Gibbs happy. Let's just put it like that. Kyle Busch, new crew chief. I think he's going to be competitive this weekend at the road course. Based off that Clash win, he's definitely going to need to bounce back from that horrible last season. Probably keep the Texas win streak going. Denny Hamlin, I like your PJs. Nothing more than that.
For
To be
Denny,
serious
this
here,
season is get that championship. He's been logging. It's been far too long. He needs the title this year. I'm gonna put it that way.
yeah.
So
Denny Hamlin has to
I'm
go.
gonna end this. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and I want to know what your guys' predictions for the championship are. Like I want to I'll start off. I think that I think actually I think that Brad Keselowski is going to get it this year. He was in the he was in the Final Four last year. He had a very good season at Charlotte, but I think the Charlotte and Bristol races came down to him just being at the right place at the right time. And yeah, that was pretty good. So that's my prediction. Brad Keselowski wins the championship.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
For me, Denny Hamlin. Like seriously, Denny. It's just he needs to win it this year. Creasem, go for you.
I would go with this is a tough pickle, but I want to say Kevin Harvick. Come on, man.
That's
You
fair
should have
enough,
won
but
it.
he just has to
won it
make the
last
final
year.
four, and it's all his. Because remember, it's
Uh-huh.
still at Phoenix. So,
Uh-huh.
anyways, boys, I think that's gonna be the end of this.
Can I get my honorable mention out there?
Go on.
Alex Bowman. That's a hot take.
Oh,
Not
that's
really
a hot
confused.
take, but I can see it all day. Anyways, any last quick takes before I shut everything down for the night?
Denny Hamlin has interesting PJs.
Yes.
Okay.
I think Ryan was gonna. I think Ryan is gonna get one top 5 this season.
And for me, Scoop, there it is. Anyways, I expect Friesen to start just screaming it. Okay, 21 Master suggested something in the chat. Hot take, Bubba will come close but won't win. Ooh, I can see that.
Actually, I think he'll win at least one race. I don't think he'll.
Yeah, I
I don't
agree
think he'll
with that.
win a lot of the races.
I think he'll win one, but I don't know if it's anything more. I hope it's not just at a super speedway. I hope he can definitely win it at on a track that's not like a super speedway. But anyways, everybody, thank you for coming out to the podcast. I have to go to work now. Thank you guys for being here tonight. We hope to have a special guest for next week's episode. This was like literally planned in 5 minutes. So yeah, thank you guys for coming out, and thanks for watching the stream, and we'll